Aho, it's August. Some of our herbs require attention. Which herbs should you cut in August and how? Let me show you. First and foremost, it depends on the plant itself. Here we have a rosemary, and as you can see, the older branches are a bit lignified here, but the plant has enough space. If there were lots more branches, I could remove some of them, but currently no need to do anything. Next to our rosemary is his little brother. This is a pine rosemary, strong rosemary aroma, but also awesome pine smell, even when you touch the needles. Here we have sage, Salvia officinalis, classic kitchen sage. We have some lemon thyme, basil, another sage, a younger one, British chocolate mint, standard mint, and this is anise hyssop. And some of these plants, as you can see, flower in summer, in midsummer, and when the plants do that, they usually use a lot of power and can either remove the flowers before flowering or right afterwards. And of course, if you want to grow new plants, it's an excellent idea to dry these flowers and collect the seeds. Let's talk about sage first. Now, before you decide to start any drastic cutting measures, you need to be aware that there are two types of sage. Kitchen sage, Salvia officinalis, and flowering sage. Flowering sage should be cut in August. Kitchen sage should not be cut unless there are some dried plant parts. You can always remove these. The name is a little bit misleading because sometimes kitchen sage also flowers a little bit, but the flowering sage has these huge, long, colorful flowers, many varieties available. The flowers that you see here, they are actually not sage, but I also put a little bit of wild thyme in there. So these plants go together very well. In other words, not gonna do anything except maybe remove some dried smaller branches. So this one came off easily. And usually when using sage for incense, it's typically the white variety, the white sage, but you can also dry these leaves. They make awesome incense too. What about basil? This is not the normal basil that we know from Italian cuisine, the kind of basil that you put on pizza. This is bush basil, grows as a bush and flowers a lot. These flowers should be removed now, but they are very much edible. A bit on the more intense side, got some bitter aromas, there's some lime in there. And they make a great oil with some kind of a mild spiciness, if that exists. So if you want to make such an oil, you would just pull them off. Of course, you can also use them for bowls or put them on salad and use some nice olive oil. Let them sit there for about 4 weeks and then filter the oil. By the way, if you do that, it's better not to dry them, but to put the still fresh flowers into your oil. And again, of course, you can also dry them, thousands, if not millions of seed in this plant alone. This way, the plant can invest all of its energy into producing new leaves. As you can see, quite a bunch of bush basil flowers from just one plant. Of course, if you want to dry them, also smell nicely, easiest way is bind them together. I always use this flexible cotton plant tape, and then you just hang them preferably not into direct sunlight until they are dry. By the way, basil, also the flowers, make really nice incense too. Here we have yet another Salvia officinalis kitchen sage. This plant is quite young. I planted it this year. Here we have a mint, also planted this year, but as you probably know, mint grows widely, and it's one of the herbs who flower twice quite reliably if you cut them. Cutting mint means cut off everything until about 1 handspan above ground. It's better for the plant. Flower a second time, and also Astrid wants to make some mint syrup anyways. I'm using mint in the kitchen sometimes, mostly for Moroccan dishes, not as much as basil though. So as you can see, this is now rather compact. And again, I will use my magic plant rope. Oh wow, the smell. Smells like I have fallen into a huge pot of mint tea. Here we have yet another type of mint, classic menta. Same. Going to cut everything off, only leave about 1 handspan, maybe 10-15 centimeters, and dry the rest so Astrid can decide which type of mint she wants to use for her syrup. Maybe she prefers to mix both of them. And the last herb I want to show you today, that's a special one. It's often confused with mint, but it's not. This beauty here is anise hyssop, often also called giant hyssop. It's used in the kitchen, smells a bit minty, but it's a very special taste. And as you can see, this plant also has flowered. So again, we can dry these flowers for the seeds, but also for anise hyssop. It's important to cut the plant thoroughly. Will help it to produce more leaves instead of investing all its power into the seeds. Lavender flowers in early summer. If I was a French parfumeur, I could probably use this. Of course, you can also dry the green parts and put them into small bags. They deter moth and they smell awesomely. It's important to remove all the brown parts. Don't worry, it doesn't hurt the plant, it rejuvenates her. I am not removing all of the seeds because I want some of them to fall in there and create new little lavender plants for next year. Looking good, eh? Oh, more work.